The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Melissa's pen clattered to the polished obsidian floor. The sound echoed through the cavernous hall like a gunshot, and every alien dignitary turned their various appendages, eye stalks, and sensory organs toward the lone human diplomat. Melissa froze, her hand still outstretched from where the writing instrument had slipped from her fingers. Around the circular table, representatives from 47 species watched with expressions ranging from curiosity to disdain. The Zorathi ambassador, a 7-foot mantis-like creature, clicked his mandibles in what might have been amusement or irritation. Melissa still hadn't learned to tell the difference. "My apologies," she said smoothly, starting to rise from her seat. "Remain seated. Representative Chen." The voice of High Chancellor Vortek boomed across the chamber. The massive Kralix gestured with one of his forearms. "We are in formal session. Protocol must be observed." Melissa settled back into her chair, her jaw tight. Of course, in Galactic Council proceedings, leaving one's seat during a briefing was considered a grave insult, suggesting the speaker wasn't worth one's attention. But there her pen lay 3 meters away, and she had another hour of notes to take. She reached for her tablet, but the device had been specifically banned from this session. Something about human technology interfering with the Zilani translator implants. Only traditional writing implements were permitted. Lewis caught her eye from his position along the wall where the junior staff stood. As her attaché, he wasn't permitted to sit, but his proximity to the human delegation made him close enough to see her predicament. His expression remained carefully neutral, but Melissa saw the slight quirk of his eyebrow. She gave an almost imperceptible shake of her head. Don't, but Lewis was already moving, so was Ambassador Cathor of the Feline Dominion, and Sub-Commander Talrix of the Canid Pax. What happened next would be discussed in diplomatic circles for decades. Lewis stepped forward with the casual confidence that made other species nervous about humans. His movement was fluid, economical, perfectly balanced, a reminder that humanity had clawed its way up from Terra's gravity well through nothing but determination and spite. Cathor, however, had already dropped to all fours, his species' natural locomotion, and was bounding across the floor with feline grace. His silver fur rippled as powerful muscles propelled him forward. Talrix matched him stride for stride, his lupine features set in concentration, tail streaming behind him like a banner. The three converged on the pen simultaneously. Lewis got there first, barely. His fingers closed around the slim cylinder just as Cathor's paw swatted at it. The human's reflexes, honed on a high-gravity world with dangerous predators, allowed him to twist away. But Talrix was already there, jaws snapping not at Lewis but at the pen itself. "Mine," Cathor yowled, abandoning all pretense of dignity. "I have it," Talrix snarled, his hackles rising. Lewis said nothing. He simply held the pen close to his chest and grinned. That peculiar human expression that showed teeth and made every species in the galaxy uncomfortable. The chamber erupted. Not in outrage, as Melissa expected, but in something far worse, excitement. 10 credits on the Canid. Someone shouted, "The feline will prevail. Look at those reflexes." Another countered, "Fools. The human hasn't even broken a sweat." Chancellor Vortek pounded his gavel, a massive crystalline hammer that cracked like thunder. "Order. This is a formal session of the Galactic." Cathor pounced. His species hadn't conquered 12 star systems by being patient. He crashed into Lewis with enough force to stagger a normal being. Lewis shifted his weight, absorbed the impact, and remained standing. The human's free hand came up to gently but firmly push against Cathor's shoulder. "Easy there, Ambassador," Lewis said, his voice maddeningly calm. "I'm just helping my boss." "It is my honor to assist Representative Chen," Cathor insisted, swatting at the pen again. "Your honor?" Talrix circled them both, looking for an opening. "The Canid Pax have been humanity's allies for 3 generations. We will return her property." "The Dominion has treaty priority," Cathor countered. Lewis, still holding the pen safely away from both aliens, looked utterly bemused. "Gentlemen, it's just a pen. Just a pen." Cathor's ears flattened. "The human female has need. Honor demands we fulfill that need." Melissa wanted to sink through the floor. Around the chamber, representatives from species that had never shown humans anything but cool professionalism were now on their feet, or foot equivalents, cheering on their favorites. The Avian Confederacy's delegate was literally flapping his wings in excitement. Even the usually stoic crystalline collective was pulsing with colors Melissa associated with amusement. This is unprecedented. Vortek bellowed, but no one was listening. Lewis, reading the room with the situational awareness that made humans dangerous, made a decision. He dropped to one knee, bringing himself below the eye level of both alien ambassadors. The gesture, submission by human standards, made both Cathor and Talrix pause. Ambassador Cathor, Sub-Commander Talrix, Lewis said formally. Your honor and dedication to Representative Chen's welfare is noted and deeply appreciated by the human delegation. However, as her attaché, this duty falls to me. Would you both honor us by escorting me back to her seat? That way, all three of our species share in this service. It was brilliant. Face-saving, protocol-observant, and most importantly, it stopped the brawl before actual claws came out. Cathor's ears rose slowly. Joint honor? The human speaks wisdom, Talrix admitted grudgingly. And so, in the most dignified procession the Galactic Council had seen in centuries, a human, a feline, and a Caniad walked side by side back to Melissa's seat. Lewis held the pen high, flanked by two of the galaxy's proudest warriors, both of whom managed to look simultaneously noble and slightly embarrassed. Melissa accepted her pen with as much grace as she could muster. Thank you, gentlemen. All of you. As they returned to their positions, the chamber slowly settled. Chancellor Vortek looked like he'd aged a century. If we may finally return to the briefing on the Outer Rim trade disputes. But Melissa caught the glances from dozens of species who'd previously viewed humanity as just another upstart race. There was new respect there. Not because humans were stronger or faster than other species, not because they had better technology or bigger ships, but because when a human dropped something, multiple species would fight over who got to help her. Because in just 3 generations, humanity had inspired that kind of loyalty, that kind of friendship, that kind of fierce protectiveness. Lewis returned to his place along the wall, carefully maintaining his professional expression. But when he caught Melissa's eye, he winked. She hid her smile and began taking notes. After all, she had a pen now. The Galactic Council would never be quite the same.